All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Monday, May 6th, 2024. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. I posted two videos yesterday, one for the public talking about macro, the markets, the stocks I'm watching, all that good stuff that you see every week. And for options members, I also did another video talking about our positions, stuff that is more tailored to the work that we do. The other video is more of a broad explanation of the market and what I see and what have you. So, again, that is only for access for our options signals members. So, if you want to take a look at that video, it is the link on the Discord. All right, back to it. Futures are green this morning. Dow futures are up 150 points, NASDAQ up 0.32%. The S&P 500 up 0.39% with the Russell up 0.79%. Now, I did talk about it yesterday that I expected stocks to move higher. That 50-day moving average on the S&P is key. We are now above it. Mind you, we have not opened yet. But in terms of futures, we are above the 50-day moving average. That is very important. NASDAQ is 40 points away from that 50-day moving average. That has been the level that we've been talking about now for a little bit. We've been talking about, getting back to that level and retracing it and see if we can actually break above it. And so far, as of right now, we are. And what's helping us get there is the dollar, the US dollar, which is now below 105. I tweeted that this morning. Below 105 key level, let's see how it looks. Got the 50-day, we bounced right off it at 104.54. That's exactly where we want to go. You can see 105.07. That's not the exact price because it's still the daily chart, but you can see the breakdown below the 200 MA on the 4-hour. This includes pre-market hours. So best way to look at this is 104.54 breakdown. If that breaks down, we're going to hit all-time highs on the S&P again. The question is when. To me, it looks like more than likely June, seasonally speaking, but May is going to be, we only have, 3 weeks left? We're already at near the first week of May completed. So I don't expect all-time highs then, but I think in the summer, with the earnings coming out, it looks like the market is digesting pretty much everything as it goes. And if that dollar continues to fall and rates continue to fall, yeah, it's going to be a nice tailwind for stocks. VIX is up 1.63%. Interesting enough, 1371. We have crude oil is up 0.88%. Hallelujah, 78.81. Gasoline futures are up 0.90%, $2.57. Again, I'm talking about gas, not because I want you to pay more at the pump, but because I'm a greedy capitalist that has calls for energy stocks. So don't hate me if gas prices go up. Well, at least we'll bank on XOM. Gold futures is up 1% this morning. Thank you to the dollar. Very much so. Silver up 3% this morning. Copper, thank you so much. Copper is up 1.39%. That is because we have FCX. That's why we care. So nice two gaps up here. But we're looking for 52.18. Like I explained to the options members, I expect FCX to hit this week. I expect DAL to hit this week. BAC is starting to push. Like I said, if the dollar pulls back and yields pull back, BAC is going to get back to 38.49. What else we got here? Euro dollar is up 23 pips, 107.86. Dollar yen, the volatile dollar yen, 153.59, actually up today. Interesting. Dollar Canadian dollar down 25 pips, 136.60 for anyone who likes to trade Forex. Keep in mind, dollar Canadian dollar likes to link up, or at least the correlation, with crude oil. So if you expect crude oil to go higher, but you don't want to trade crude oil futures, trade dollar Canadian dollar to the short side. That's more of the direct correlation that you can use. There's plenty of other correlations with Forex. We don't talk about Forex a lot, but it's a very interesting market. To some, maybe more overseas, outside the US clients, they prefer that. But again, there's always little hints that you can use. And once you start mastering trading in the markets and macro, guys, it doesn't even matter the actual instrument or asset you're trading. You just get so used to it. Pound dollar 125.91, that's up 37 pips. Bitcoin 64,045. Weekends apparently are still for crypto, up 2.32%. 31.28 on Ethereum, up 1%. Let's get to the Q&A session of the video. Good. Grand Rising. That's a good one. Grand Rising. Well, I'll just say good morning, but how about a great morning? Palantir earnings. Talked about that as well. Earnings have not come out, I believe. Let's see if they came out yet. Mm-mm. It was really wacky in terms of what days the earnings are coming out. Palantir reports after the close, and the one that stood out to me, I was like, "Wow, that's a little different." Is Disney reporting in the morning, tomorrow morning? So that's what I see. That's before market open. I remember Disney used to be after hours, but either way, Palantir again. I don't know much about the numbers, but I do have an alert above 2438, which we're right there. If we can sustain above that, do I want to play earnings again? I know everyone made money on Apple. We're going to be conservative. Let's wait for the earnings report. But I do expect personally that Palantir will hit 28. Not this week, but I expect it to go higher eventually. So let's put a price target on Palantir just for the hell of it. I'll say 28 within 90 days, if not 6 months. And the reason I say that is because you can get some choppiness due to pretty much anything. And I have no idea what the earnings are going to be. Just playing technicals, we're above the 50-day. That's a good sign. We'd be breaking out of this upward channel here. So technically speaking, yes, I expect Palantir to go higher. DAL, good to enter. It is green. So let's see where we are. 4-hour chart. 5238 is the level that I have. I would say no problem to get into DAL if you like. We've been in it. We were in it on Friday. We're still in it. Good morning, by the way. Good morning. Should have brought Friday. Oh, well. Good morning, boss. What are your thoughts on the semis, AMD and NVIDIA? Look at this downward wedge here, breakout. Lovely. So what are we looking for? What are we waiting for in order for this to break out? You got two options. This is my first option, 160 above or 164.46. Being more conservative would be 164.46. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say 164.46. That's that fib. You know what? Let's just make it even. 165 if we break out. Above 165 here, I would go along to or at maybe 185, maybe 180. But you got a lot of room again. Downward wedge breaking out. Now, if you break below 140, you're going to have to short this, but I don't see that happening. Again, I still see stocks moving higher above that 50-day on the S&P. Nasdaq about to break the 50, and semiconductors will have to be leading the way. They're such a big part of the Nasdaq now because of this guy, Nvidia. Nvidia is up. Nvidia is going to hit $1,000, guys. So that's inevitable. But what we do is time it, and that's very difficult. A, it's very expensive. B, we have no idea. And C, Nvidia is so volatile now because it's kind of taken that place of Tesla back in 2021, where pretty much everyone was piling into those options. Nvidia options are very liquid now, tight spreads. Don't get me wrong, but you're gonna have to pay a little bit, a little extra. So if you were looking to trade any kind of semiconductors, AMD may be out of the price range for some. Nvidia might more likely will be out of the price range for some. So you have other instruments that you can trade or other stocks, Micron being one. Maybe if Micron gets above 120, hey, we can target those highs and they'll be cheaper than AMD just due to the IV and all that stuff. The good news is that AMD reported earnings already. NVIDIA has not. So that increases the premiums as well because you're going to have speculators trying to position themselves ahead of that print. I don't know the exact date that NVIDIA reports. I'm going to say, I know it's not this week, but let's just focus on what we got this week. Meta calls. Good news, you're above the 100-day. Bad news, we haven't filled the downside gap. Good news that we have a gap up here at 484. So it's really kind of pick your perspective. If you're holding above 442.16, yes, you can look for 485 to target. And that's what I will be looking for. But you got to use this 442 as support. So you're going to have to cut that off there. The problem with Meta, of course, is that it is expensive in terms of options. So I can see us moving higher on Meta, but it's just a shame that we never got this daily gap fill. And that does worry me. Any kind of bad news, this is going to get there at 400. And then we'll be getting a better price then. So kind of holding out on that, kind of crossing my fingers and see if there's any kind of news out there that may bring Meta down at a discount. But as of right now, as long as we hold that 100, you're going to get to 483. I don't know when, though. Again, we're kind of running out of catalysts. That's the only thing. We just had NFP. We just had the Fed. May seasonally tends to be weak. But again, we're above the 50. I mean, it is all perspective at this point. Thoughts on SLV? I like commodities, and I do not hate SLV. I actually very much like it. got to get me above 25, 24. There's a gap at 26. That's what I'm looking for. So I like the short dollar long commodity trade. That would be gold, silver, Bitcoin, oil, any kind of commodity. I like them long against the dollar because I would be net short the dollar moving forward as long as we stay below 105. Again, anything could change that, but that's what I'm looking for this week. And that does mean, small caps, for example, they'll be beneficiaries of lower rates and a lower dollar. So again, let's take a look at small caps. I talked about this last night. 2069 is what I'm looking for there. Let's see the daily. Yeah, 2069 breaks. You can target 2100 on futures or on IWM. We'll look at that. But again, that downward trend line, let's just say. Let's look at IWM together. If we want to trade it, there is the gap fill at 204.46. We need that to break first and foremost. We're at 203.20. So a little too close to trade it now, but a break above that, we can target 210. I'm pretty sure there'll be some volume out there. Someone is out there going to trade those IWM calls. Good morning, brother. What's up, Scotty? Snow. Let's look at it. Look at the daily here. Yeah, you're above the 20-day moving average, but yeah, you're going to have to wait a little more. 194 breaks, you got 211, but that's going to be tough. The deal here is that you're near support around 140 or so. When it comes to cloud stocks, I think the two best of breed is still Amazon and Microsoft. If you want to trade Snow, you want to trade Salesforce.com, that's fine. But I think you're going to get a lot more value out of Amazon and Microsoft rather than Snowflake. What are your targets to sell BAC, SLV, and XOM? We went ahead and posted that video. Check this out. It's here on the Premium Signals channel, and you could see it right here. So if you are a member of the Signals, I break down every single one block by block. BAC, SLV, and XOM. Thoughts on Adobe? Got a gap to fill here at 551. That was your earnings gap. The question is, do we hold support here? Here's the problem. You have another gap here at 440, 441. So we're still below the 200. I can't say that this is done as of yet, in my opinion. I think, yeah, you can get to 441 and you can buy it there. I would not be a buyer here in Adobe. I think there's better value out there and the price just isn't right, technically speaking. 522. What two hot breakouts watch list stocks are you favoring to get calls on for this week? Yeah, I posted that. It's here. You got to get on the blog, my brother. Here are the three stocks. Well, one of them is not going to work. I mean, not like I got a position in it. Robinhood just had an SEC notice. So they're down like 8% this morning. But I had Robinhood reports Wednesday with a break. Disney and Shopify are the two that I also have there. So if you want details on it, make sure to take a look at our last YouTube video because I go over it. Let's see. IWM for 522. Again, we got to wait for the open. I got to see the volume first. But I like IWM for more upside. Apple pulled back. Luckily, we got out of our earnings trade or our trade that we had before. So when in regards to Apple, you have this gap here. So be careful. I talked about this last night as well in video. I said that, hey, just like Tesla, you guys remember after that 18% crazy ass day, what did you get? You got to pull back a little bit. So Apple, I can't say, oh, I want to run out and get puts either, because I do expect the market to bounce or to go higher, with the dollar coming down. But I would heed caution on Apple. See if maybe you can get around 180. And then 180, I would probably look at buying the dip and going long again, because this is a breakout of that trend line. Yes. But 180 right there, that's what I'm looking for. That 100 or that 200 support. And if that breaks down, then Apple will be in trouble, but I don't think we will. 180, that's your money level. Wait for that dip there, and it will. We had the headlines over the weekend regarding Warren Buffett selling some stake in Apple, not majority stake, or he liquidated everything. He just sold some, so that's down this morning. Shop looks good. I see it all over X there. Yeah, I mean, there's a gap to fill here on Shopify. And the question really remains, what do we get this morning? Do we get some volume out there? You could see the market is pushing higher, so 77.03. Let's see if we get there, and maybe we get a crack at it. Thoughts on DraftKings price target raise from 55 to 53, or from 53 to 55. Yeah, I saw a couple notes on them. Let's see it. Go to the daily. You're right off that 20. You can use 41 as support. We are now at 42.24. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, you got to recapture here at 45.82. Recapture the highs, then you can target 48 to 50. That's what I would wait for. And remember, those price targets are for 12 months. So when a bank says, "Oh, I'll have a price target of 150," that's what they think the stock will be within the next 12 months. So just a heads up, that's a lot of time. All right, team, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see everybody on the Discord server. I hope you join. Check out the bottom scrolling words to get on Discord. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.